We are starting today with Hurricane Ian, which is headed straight for Florida. It hit the Cayman Islands as a tropical storm, but has now strengthened into a Category 1 hurricane. People in Florida are preparing by digging trenches and stacking sandbags. Stores have empty shelves as people are stocking up on supplies. With Ian expected to hit Florida midweek. Now, we just want all of our viewers to know, especially there in Florida, our thoughts and prayers are with you. Please stay safe. Make sure to check in on your neighbors, your elderly neighbors specifically. Now, you lived in Florida. You've been through, I believe,
Category 4.
Category 4.
Right, yeah.
What did you do?
Hurricane Wilma. Well, I underprepared, Sam, because I didn't know what, I just thought it was like, oh, some weather, whatever. And, you start realizing, oh, the grocery store has nothing, and we're 10 days post-hurricane. The gas stations don't work. There are people fighting over goods because you realize, like, once the power goes out and the lights go out and the cops stop showing up and 911 doesn't answer, you see how people really act.
Yeah.
So but I expect, because Florida's used to this, to come together as a community, because unfortunately this happens a lot. Yeah, well, wow. I didn't know you went through that. Yes, it was a lot. Albert. Yeah. I'm here. I know. Okay. I'm glad you are. I'm actually thinking about the people in Cayman Islands. I spent a lot of time there. I have a lot of friends there because I used to work for Carnival. It's a small island. I'm really worried about that. Yeah. Okay. Yes. Prayers to them as well. And we will obviously stay up to date on all things Hurricane Ian. So we're going to move on to a topic that I am confident that has affected all of you. I know here as well, but I know for a fact our viewers, either personally or maybe someone you love. We're talking about cancer. A new report, this is encouraging, from the American Association for Cancer Research shows that more people are surviving cancer than ever before. There are currently 18 million survivors in the U.S. as of January. Wow. Now compare that into 1971, where there were only 3 million. And get this, for all cancers, the 5-year survival rate has increased from 49% in the 70s to nearly 70% today. Hallelujah, that is progress. That makes me feel so much more hopeful. You have had your own experiences. Yes, I lost my grandfather to colorectal cancer, so that's something I've talked with my doctor about. And I lost my good friend Mike Lane. He's he was a year ahead of me in high school, but 6'7", 300 pounds, great, wonderful guy, bodybuilder, and he had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, and he was gone before he was 40 years old. So and it affects like the whole family unit too. The ripples that go out are incredible. I just want to say I'm so pleased that science is exponentially growing, which is fantastic. But for all those out there fighting, just know we are also still fighting for you. And that 70% should encourage you to keep fighting. Absolutely, and you all are warriors. I do want to give a shout out to one of our own producers here. This is Karen. Karen is a two-time soft tissue sarcoma survivor. Recently just had dealings with it and is doing fine, looking good, and we know she's kicking cancer's butt. So bravo to you, Karen. Absolutely. Bravo, Karen. Bravo. I think she beat cancer with just niceness. She's just too Cancer's like, we can't even be in here. She's Canadian. She's so That's nice. How they do it. She's such a warrior, never complains. Ever. Like, people had no idea she was going through radiation. She had multiple surgeries. This is her second time beating cancer, and again, shows up to work. Does her job with a smile on her face. You would never know her own trauma that she herself, I'm sure, is enduring. We appreciate you, Karen. We love you. Absolutely. Prevention, though. Prevention. Yeah, I think that, sometimes it just comes on and you don't know, but prevention is the key, is at least the answers that I've been given, right? My wife has breast cancer running her family. We didn't have a scare, but she recently went and got that checked out. She had to go back and see a secondary doctor, and it turns out everything's all good, right? So, but they told her, don't worry till you're like 40. But it runs in her family, so other doctors like, go get it checked out early. I know 45 men, the leading cancer for men is probably colon. Colon, when you get, for when you're 45. Is that prostate? Prostate. There we go. There we go. But prevention, you're right, is so key. That's exactly it. But yeah, so me and Al talk about this on the show. I'm making a joke about it because I think if you laugh about it, it's kind of like, oh, let's go in and get this done, right? So I want to go in seriously. I know you're 45. I'm 44. I'd like to do this on air, not that part, you know what I mean? Do it. But I'm talking about doing that on air. Prevention's the key. It's uncomfortable for men to talk about, right? Nobody wants to do that. Some people are scared. Like, I'd rather take my chances. Why? It's the #1 preventable cancer, prostate cancer, speaking of, in men. Go swallow your ego, swallow your pride, and go get it
checked out for your family, not for your own ego.
I'm so happy you said that, and I'm glad you brought up Jordan, because she and I talked, because we have breast cancer in my family too, on both sides of my family. My sister at 43 years old was diagnosed with breast cancer a year ago. She's cancer-free.
Yeah, Mommy.
Shout out to Monica, but you're right. So I, like Jordan, have to have like very high-risk screenings. I also just did the BRCA gene test, and I'm negative. Oh, I didn't know. And if I had it, I was going to get a double mastectomy.
Tell everybody what that is really quickly.
So the BRCA gene is definitely a gene that showcases that you have the cancer gene in your family. That could be ovarian, that could be breast cancer. It's not just breast cancer. It means that you have a higher risk. Not only do you have it, but higher risk of other cancers too. So for me, I was like, okay, I'm going to get the double mastectomy because I have 2 children. I'm not going to risk it, but I'm negative. So thank goodness. I do want to bring up a really fantastic foundation that Tori and I were able to witness this weekend. It's called the Verma Foundation. And Natasha Verma, you may be familiar with her at 9 News because she too is a cancer survivor. She realized when she lost all of her hair with chemotherapy that she did not obviously feel like herself. She wanted to have her dignity back. So she created her own cap wigs, real hair, and she gifts them for free to cancer patients all over the world. So we have some pictures, I believe, from the Verma Foundation event. That was Sophie. I got to MC the event. It was phenomenal. There's Natasha right there. Again, cancer survivor, giving back. There's one, so the women that walked the runway, there's Darius Johnson of 9 News, but the women that walked the runway were all battling cancer. Clara, 8-year-old Clara, if we could show her really quickly, she has leukemia and currently battling cancer. You got this, Clara. Again, go to Verma Foundation to donate so you can please offer these cap wigs to other cancer patients. And if you yourself need a cap wig, go to Verma Foundation. They are free.
And may I just say, you did a fantastic job. I know the whole thing was, but you were so wonderful. I was very proud of you.
Thank you.
Very proud of you.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.